I fell playing soccer and hurt my arm really bad. I went to the hospital and they fixed it up, but it got an infection, so my mom called the nurse to come to our house. I just started on home care for my mastectomy I had just over a week ago. I get my dressing changed twice per day and I'm on IV therapy for my wound infection.
I was going up the stairs to my apartment when I slipped on the ice and broke my kneecap. I'm just starting with home care and waiting for my first visit with the nurse.
I had a stroke a month ago. I have been receiving home care for a week, and they've been helping me adapt to the changes I've been experiencing.
I have to be careful when I'm playing so I don't get it dirty, or else it'll get more infected. When the nurse comes, I have to be real still when she changes my band-aid. The main thing I struggled with was my change in body image. It's been difficult to adjust to the removal of my breast. Dealing with the infection has also been quite a bit of a struggle.
I don't know what I need a nurse for anyway. How am I supposed to know if they even qualified?
My initial concern was the right side of my body was weak. Trying to go back to my daily living has been difficult. I've also experienced incontinence twice. The nurse says that elder women's pelvic muscles become more flaccid, causing incontinence. It may also be due to my stroke. Apparently it is symptomatic of bilateral brain damage. I've been starting on a voiding schedule in an attempt to manage this.
The nurse told me to be more careful and safe when I'm playing, and told me what happens when it gets infected, and to tell my mom if it falls off or gets dirty. I've been taught a lot about different adaptive mechanisms and how to cope with the huge change. Basically, I need to think positively and accept this change as a part of my growing maturity. Also, I learned the importance of exercise to regain full range of motion in my affected arm. I wear loose clothes to help with pain and swelling, and I know all of the signs of infection to make sure it does not get any worse.
I haven't received any teaching yet, but my daughter seems to think I need education on conflict management, because we can never agree on anything. My daughter's done some research already, and apparently we need to be solution-oriented. She rambles about self-disclosure and active listening, and basically we need to collaborate and cooperate because my health depends on it.
The main teaching the nurse focused on was my recovering from my stroke, improving my mobility, my incontinence, and practicing ways of communication. My daughter has been my main translator. She helps me communicate with the nurse and has helped me with my healthcare coverage. The nurse has helped me with communicating my needs too. She uses pictures and other visual stimuli to help teach me about what aids I need to be more effective day to day. The nurse talked to my daughter about caregiver burnout. She said me being so dependent on her physically and mentally can increase her stress and lead to depression. Some symptoms she said to watch for were sleeplessness, anxiety, and frustration, and changes in her work and social life. She offered resources like counseling, stress management, and spiritual assistance. This has been very helpful for all of us.
This affected my mental health mainly because I feel a great sense of loss. Initially, my self-esteem was very low, and I felt depressed and worried about my future. I was just in a lot of emotional turmoil.
Strokes can cause intellectual decline, like dementia. The nurse says that could be why I left the stove on, my incoherence, and my wandering. This really worries my daughter. The nurse has provided options to help cope with this, like respite care and an adult daycare. It worries me because I can't communicate with the people in this new country. She says there may be a professional interpreter who can work with me and has been teaching me to communicate in other ways.
The nurse told us to call her or the health link number my mom put on the fridge if we have any questions or problems. The nurse provided me with a lot of teaching for different exercises and overall management of my wound. She told me about support groups for other women dealing with the same thing and a variety of websites and reading material.
I am a refugee from Bosnia. I am trying to get my healthcare coverage here in Alberta. I applied as soon as I got here 3 months ago. All we had to do was get an application form from the doctor, and I am covered under the interim federal health program until it comes through. Some barriers they say may be causing the delay are my proof of where I'm living and identification documents. My daughter has been taking care of this as I don't understand the language. This causes her a great deal of stress.
The nurse is really nice to me and helps lots. I used to be kind of scared of doctors and nurses, but now I'm not anymore. Home care has been great. We've done a lot of work on my body image and self-esteem. I am able to do all my own daily activities and hygiene. I get my dressing changed twice a day and my antibiotics given by IV twice a day. The nurses have been very helpful.
I hope my experience with home care is a positive one, and we can all work together to give myself the best care possible.
Home care has been very helpful. The nurse has asked a lot about my culture to better understand me. She has helped me adapt to the changes in my body and is working with me to communicate better.